Yes. Question. Should we get started? Yes. Let's get started. Good question. Next question. Yes. Oh, question on the question? Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, so a couple things. Hopefully you guys did the lab from Monday, which is the smart home device research. Did you guys look at any and give it a like if you liked it? One? All right. Well, I wanted to start there because I just kind of wanted to, with the class, review all the interesting things that you found. So let's start with most useful, shall we? All right, what did we get? Looking for any likes. Oh, one. The Roborock Q Rivo robot vacuum and mop. Yeah. Most people hate doing chores, and Robo vacuum and mop can help you clean your floors. Why not? I like it. I use mine all the time. They do work very well, especially when you have big dogs. I just have it follow the dog around all day, cleaning all the hairs. Here's another one, smartwatches. Yeah, I would say that's probably I don't know if it's a smart home device, but it's definitely an IoT device. What else we got? Any other? Yes, oh, here we go. Smart window blinds. I hadn't actually seen this one. I knew there were smart window blinds, and I knew you could like control them by like Alexa, like, hey, open my blinds. But I didn't know that it can tilt based upon the position of the sun throughout the day. That's kind of cool because you don't want to sit there all day and adjust them as you go. So that's kind of cool. Never seen these. I'm guessing they're not free. Come at some sort of cost. That's okay. Doorbell camera. I agree. It's always good to see who's stealing your packages, right? I had this happen actually just yesterday. Not a stealing of a package, but Amazon said they delivered a package and they said they gave it to the resident. So I looked at my footage from the camera and I see the Amazon truck go by my house and it didn't stop. It just kept going. So I'm like, I don't think you delivered my package if you didn't even stop. So I told them I never got my package. That was good. They gave me a refund. Yeah. They're usually pretty good about that. And then also yesterday, I have a camera in the alleyway as well, like a doorbell camera. And twice yesterday, I saw a kid run up and lick the camera and run away. Wait, what? I was like, why? It's a new form of like doorbell ditching, is licking the camera and running away. I don't know. I'll look up the footage so you guys can see it. Twice. First, and then came back 5 minutes later and did the same thing. So doorbell cameras are good for providing entertainment too. And thermostats. Yeah, I totally agree. I like thermostats. They're very useful, right? And it's actually what you're going to be working on today in lab is reading about the Nest thermostat and how it can give you away. You can tell the intruder who's monitoring your network traffic if you're home or away. So sometimes they give out more information than they should. All right, let's move on to the next topic. How about strangest? Here's one. If you ever struggled with how much dental floss you're using, look no further than the Smart Dental Floss Dispenser. Oh, it's wall or mirror mounted, capable of dispensing dental floss at a manageable rate. Probably tells you how much you use and how efficient you're being. Oh, smart flip-flops. Sounds good. What else? Smart egg tray, super useful. Tells you how many eggs you have left. Or you could just open the fridge and look. I don't know. And then a couple of, this was new to me, the smart deodorant. Smart deodorant. Everybody needs some smart deodorant in their life. Oh, and here's the winner. The smart salt shaker. What does it do?
There's a speaker in front of them in that amp. You want a little on salt.
You're a little on salt. Let's try. Yeah. And maybe like you've added too much salt. You've reached your salt threshold for the day. Oh, here's a good one. The Tesla Smart Pillow. It tracks your bedtime habits and can even play bedtime music. I like it. Yes, Musk needs to know what we're doing all times of the day. Probably giving you some subliminal messages as you sleep. Buy a Tesla. Exactly. All right, least secure. That's kind of important for this class. What do we got for anyone voting here? I'm guessing not many people voted, did they? Okay, I found this company out of China called Orbivo, maybe. Trying to function as a unifying cloud platform for smart devices. Despite claiming to guarantee data safety, Orbivo is doing the bare minimum for security and it got blown wide open. They had the default Elasticsearch port open with no password protection, and they stored all the user data with unencrypted MD5 hashes. Yikes. So yeah, that's also related to smart home devices because it's actually storing smart home device data. Kind of scary. What else we got? This one's really bad. The Freddy Tayoko baby monitor device. So these have historically been bad. They not only, for some of them, don't even encrypt the transfer of the video feed, but some of them had like FTP open. And not only that, but they were like FTP open at the, basically at the firewall. So it was internet facing FTP. So not great, especially if you're going to put this in your kid's room and it's going to monitor your kid and you. The other thing, I don't know if you guys saw this in the news, but at the time, not only were people monitoring the video feed, they were also talking back through it. Yeah, that's just wild, crazy. All right. Okay, so that's least secure. How about voyeuristic? All right. Alexa, anything with an audio. Any other votes? Okay, here we go. Smartphones are always listening to us. There is conflicting info about smartphones really listening to us because obviously you can do research and see what they're doing. So some people say, I guess some researchers are saying yes and some are saying no. I had always heard no. You never know. Okay. Smart fridges. Why would a smart fridge need a microphone and a camera? I get maybe the camera, but inside, but really a microphone? What are you going to tell it to do? Open the door. Open the door. Oh, add to your grocery list. Okay, I get that. Okay, I get it. But always listening smart fridge. I don't know if you guys have seen Silicon Valley, but it's a bad idea. And Arlo cameras are definitely voyeuristic. Well, any camera, I guess, is watching, but hopefully that feed is encrypted and only available to you. Okay, cool. So the other one that I was going to add to the voyeuristic was actually a story I just heard from a Stanford research professor. What they did was they realized that on your smartphone, when you have low signal, right, low cell signal, your battery is used more, right? Because it is trying to get the signal. So, right, the phone is working harder to get the signal. So basically, more of your battery is used. And then, of course, when your cell signal is strong, less of the battery is used because it's not trying to get that signal. All right, basic concept. So what do? They realize that when you are driving, first, you're between towers. So like when you're close to a tower, less battery usage, away from the tower, more battery usage. We got that. But the other thing they noticed is when you're driving down the street, there are obstacles between you and your tower. Like there could be a tree, and therefore your battery use has to go up because it requires more power to get the signal. As it passes the tree, guess what? Goes down, right? Battery usage is down because now it gets more of that signal. So they realized that that could provide some sort of fingerprint of where you are based upon the obstacles that you're driving by on the road. So what they did was they took their phones out, all the students, and mapped the whole city of Palo Alto. And with that, they were able to reproduce, based upon someone's battery usage, as they were driving down the street, based upon the obstacles that were either making it draw more or less power, they could pinpoint exactly where that person was, just on the battery usage. So why is that bad? Well, here's what Android thought. Android lets any app installed on the device monitor the battery usage. Because what could possibly be wrong about looking at someone's battery usage, right? It's not going to identify anything useful except for how low the battery is. Well, yeah, you have to take that into consideration. But that is the problem, is someone could install an app on your Android phone and basically pinpoint where you are located, where you've been, just based upon the usage, the draw of that battery, based upon where you're driving, right? Because of the obstacles that you're driving by that are interfering with the cell signal. So that's what you call like a side channel security problem. Yeah. Yes. So you'd have to pre-map areas, right? No. Well, what they could do though is if they know maybe what state or city that person's in, and they've already mapped that city, then they can compare what they've seen in terms of like the fingerprint of the usage and know exactly where that person is in the city. So that's the problem.
I almost wonder if that
Yeah.
Uber app monitors battery, like if someone hacks Uber,
Yeah, it would. So you'd know where the Uber went. Yeah. But so what that is just like what they call a side channel attack. He talked about 3 other crazy ones too, but I thought that was one of the more interesting ones. Crazy. All right. Oh yeah, Wi-Fi for sure, right? Because you're trying to log in all the hotspots automatically as you go. What it's bound? I'm not sure how that one would work, but yeah, crazy. Yep. Yeah, maybe the same kind of idea. Okay. All right, so that I think covers all of what I wanted you guys to do is start thinking about smart home devices, what exists, kind of the concept of like, I don't know, appliance makers and any other home device. They're figuring that if we make it smart, it will sell, right? Like smart toaster, smart fork. Might as well make it smart and more people will buy more of them. I want a dumb toaster too. All right, so what you're doing today is you guys are going to read this article. And as it's titled, is anybody home inferring activities from smart network traffic? That's exactly what they did. So researchers at UC Davis figured out that monitoring the network traffic that was created by a Nest thermostat would tell them if somebody was home or not, right? We all get the concept of a Nest thermostat. It adjusts your temperature whether if you're home or not, right? If you're gone, maybe everything should be off. When you're home, obviously you want it on. So how does it know if you're home or not? Meaning the thermostat itself. Anybody know? Yep, Nests have motion sensors. So that's exactly what these guys in the research were able to leverage, was the knowledge of the motion sensor sending information back to the Google Nest cloud site saying someone's home, someone's not home, right? So they were able to determine if someone's home or not based upon the traffic created by the motion sensor in the Nest thermostat. Crazy, I think, kind of crazy. Not as crazy as this battery of a smartphone telling you where you're at, but still kind of crazy. So what you guys are going to do is read this. It's 7 pages long, but it's got a bunch of graphs and a whole reference section at the end. So what, I don't know, more like 5 pages long, not very long. I know reading is hard. And what I would suggest to do though, before you start reading, is go in here and look at the quiz that you're going to take. So this is kind of a new thing that we haven't used before, but this is going to provide for you 3 questions. And it's actually pulling from a larger pool of questions. So you and your neighbor might have different questions. So it's pulling 3 random questions from a pool of questions for you to answer. So what I recommend that you do before you start reading is be familiar with the questions that you need to ask, right? So read the 3 questions and then go and read the article. And these are not multiple choice. These are short answer. Okay, that's what we're doing. Have fun.